Five Nights at Freddy's was released in August of 2014, making it 10 years old as of right now. And for the entirety of those 10 years, it had changed not only the indie gaming scene, but the gaming scene as a whole, with its low budget, well executed horror elements, and its creators' fan interactions. All of these things set the bar for future game developers, and even though they'd all been done before, they were nowhere near as effective or well known. The Five Nights at Freddy's franchise has impacted many people and inspired them to create games that are very similar to FNAF. If you've seen this video, it's likely that you've at least heard of the most popular of these games, like the Five Nights at Candy series, Pop Goes, The Joy of Creation, or One Night at Flumpty's. The FNAF fan game scene has been growing non-stop since the creation of FNAF. And if you've seen my videos before, you can probably guess that I'm a big enjoyer of these fan games and love to play, analyse and review them. Therefore, when I was scouring GameJolt for some new FNAF fan games to play, I was very excited to see upcoming fan games that I will talk about in this video. These fan games are criminally small and look like they could bring either some fresh ideas, unique art styles, or just solid gameplay when they're fully released. So without further ado, let's talk about upcoming FNAF fan games. COMATIZED, oh, is it COMATIZED? I don't know, one sec.
COMATIZED.
Right, okay, COMATIZED. COMATIZED is a FNAF fan game that is being developed by @RecaianceGames Official on GameJolt. There really isn't much information available about what this game will be like, aside from the teaser images on the GameJolt page, since this game has no description. Therefore, I'll be making some theories about what this game will be like based off the title and images. These images show us that there will be at least 5 animatronics featured in the game: Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy and Fredbear. All these animatronics besides Freddy have a teaser image featuring them. The first one to be released was Foxy's, and unfortunately it doesn't give us a great deal of information. It's quite dark, which doesn't help either, so I brightened it. We see Foxy reaching his hook out of the curtain of what is probably Pirate's Cove. However, this could be Mangle, but I don't see why it would be, since there's more evidence to support that COMATIZED will be a FNAF 1 remake later on. There is something else in this image which shows us that it's more likely Foxy, and that is the snout that we see just beginning to emerge from the darkness. The hook seems to be reaching for an object of some kind. There's no evidence as to what this object could be though. I think it's some kind of chair, but it's unlikely. I think this teaser is very effective. It shows off the animatronic while still keeping plenty of mystery around it. Another teaser was released the next day, captioned "Lights Out." It shows this game's Bonnie reaching for a light bulb. It shows off Bonnie in a pretty ordinary way, which makes sense since there doesn't need to be much mystery around him since he's on the game's cover. I have a couple guesses as to what this could mean gameplay wise, but they really are guesses. Seriously, I have no evidence of these things besides this image. Firstly, I think that this could be showing off the mechanic that Bonnie has during the game's nights, where he turns off the light of whatever room he's been in, to make tracking him a little different to other animatronics. Or maybe Bonnie could somehow disable the player's door lights at random times in the night, or just when he's at the door. That is, of course, if this game has door lights and doors. However, I think this is most likely a teaser for some kind of post or pre-night minigame involving Bonnie and the lights. Overall, this teaser image is solid. It got me guessing about what it means for the game, also gave us a closer look at Bonnie's model, which was only kind of shown off in the game's uniquely styled cover. The third teaser image was released the next day, this time captioned "Rotten." This teaser was huge for me when I was speculating what the game will be like. It pointed out that this game will almost definitely be a FNAF 1 remake, or at least take place in the FNAF 1 pizzeria. It literally shows Chica in the West Hall corner. However, it's quite dark, so I brightened this image too. Brightening it shows quite a bit of Chica's model. Well, actually just her head, shoulders and upper chest, but oh well. It also gives us a little look at Freddy, who is on the poster behind Chica. Her model is okay, not of outstanding quality when used in this context. I think it looks far better with its monochrome, creepier look on the game's cover art. Apart from that, this teaser doesn't show us much. It only really gets us thinking about the fact that this game takes place in the FNAF 1 location. Additionally, the word rotten could show us that this game takes place years after FNAF 1, when the pizzeria has been abandoned. The next teaser was released almost a week after the third, and shows Fredbear with the caption of "Remember." I think the fact that Fredbear is in this game, and also looks similar to Nightmare Fredbear, shows us that it may take place in the mind of Michael Afton. It could even be taking place in the mind of the crying child, because of the game's name, COMATIZED. From what I've seen, this isn't a real word, but I'm guessing it just means to be in a coma, which would make sense if the crying child is a protagonist. Brightening the image doesn't show as much apart from a checkered floor, some tables, and, oh yeah, possibly Spring Bonnet. I didn't notice this until my third or fourth look at the brightened image because he's quite dark, but now I can't unsee it. A golden animatronic stood behind Fredbear with most of its head obscured so we can't tell what it is exactly. So it could be Spring Bonnet or something else entirely. I think this is a great teaser image. It got me pretty hyped when I noticed Spring Bonnie in the back because he's pretty well hidden and would easily go unnoticed. Furthermore, obscuring the head creates a really good sense of mystery. Overall, I'm very excited for COMATIZED to come out because the art style of the cover is phenomenal. The models are solid and Rikines did a really good job with the teaser images that have released. I would say it's a good 7.5 out of 10 on the hypometer. I'm never going to use that again, am I? In September I made a video reviewing Costin's Fredbear's Family Diner, and I called it one of the buggiest, jankiest and glitchiest fan games I had ever played. That's quite harsh, since the game was very fun, and I think the fact it was a first project for Costin justifies the bugs I experienced. Actually, right now, Costin is working on an improved version of Fredbear's alongside the game I want to talk about today. I mentioned in my last video that if Fredbear's 2 gets a little bit more time in the oven and a little more polishing, it can be very good. And I stand by that statement. Costin is showing a lot of promise with the cover and teaser images for Fredbear's 2, and although these teaser images are cool, they don't show off a great deal of what's happening in the game. That doesn't mean they show off nothing though. For starters, the first teaser image shows a Spring Bonnie animatronic hiding in a closet. However, this isn't visible until the image is brightened, which I did. Another teaser image was released later on. It was captioned, "Who's there?" It depicts a door that looks similar to the FNAF 4 bedroom. In fact, all these teasers remind me of FNAF 4, with the creepy nightmare-styled animatronics and settings. However, the teasers doesn't feature any animatronics for some reason. More promotional material has also been released for the game, showing off Nightmare Balloon Boy, a Nightmare Fredbear looking animatronic, and an image of Fredbear from the first game shrouded in darkness. When I saw this teaser, I was sure that if I brightened it, I would be able to see something in the back, like the FNAF 3 ending. However, there wasn't anything. Something I did find out though, was that the file name for the image is opening, so it's pretty obvious that this is a frame from an opening cutscene of some kind. I wanted to find out more about this upcoming game because things like the game's description talking about the player's daughter dying raised some questions that I wanted answers to. So I reached out to Costin to see if he'd be willing to answer some of my questions, and to my fortune, he said he would love to. I asked Costin to confirm if he was working on a remake of the first Fredbear's Family Diner, and he said that he was working on it, right now actually. I also attempted to find out if the daughter mentioned in Fredbear 2's game description was the same as the girl we saw getting killed by the purple guy in the first game. I didn't ask Costin about this directly, but I asked him if Fredbear's 1 and 2 had the same protagonist, and he let me know that the two are not the same, so it's back to the drawing board for the daughter. He also let me know that we will be seeing 6 new animatronics in Fredbear's 2, and when I asked about the core gameplay being the same across all nights, he told me that Fredbear's 2 will be a little different. This explains the fact that the images on GameJolt show the inside of a house, a silhouette of a church and a graveyard. It must be because the game's nights have different settings, like a bedroom night, a church night, or a graveyard night. Overall, I'm very excited for the full release of Fredbear's Family Diner 2, because the first game showed a lot of potential, and it seems like Costin is putting lots more effort into polishing this game. And Costin, if you're watching, keep up the great work. This game looks like it's going to be phenomenal. The final upcoming FNAF fan game I want to talk about today is FreddyBear's Diner, which is being developed by Fox Films using
Click Team.
Unfortunately, this game was announced not long ago, and therefore it doesn't have a lot of information about it available. However, we can guess a good bit from the game job page of the project. Just quickly before we get into this, I want to mention that Fox Films is looking for good programmers as well as Blender modelists for environments and props to help them out. If you would be interested in this, please click the link to his game job page in the description and contact him on Discord, because I would hate to see this game get cancelled from a heavy workload. Thank you. We can see from Fox Films' past games that his animatronic modelling skills are great and actually have pretty good textures, which is normally where FNAF fan game developers make mistakes. We see 3 animatronics showed off on this game's page, including Bonnie, Freddy and Chica. As I just mentioned, their models are great, and they strike a great balance between children's entertainer and creepy murderous haunted robot. Cute, but also uncanny, just as Scott intended. There's something about FreddyBear too. I don't know, he just looks distinguished, like he should be singing Frank Sinatra or something. Actually, Bonnie does too. How is Fox Films making these animatronics look so classy? But this is irrelevant. I want to know more about that sweet gameplay, and therefore I began to search. And lo and behold, I found a few things. This game almost definitely is another FNAF 1 remake, or takes place in the FNAF 1 pizzeria at least, because of the Celebrate poster, the show stage and the office. I'm guessing it happens after FNAF 1, since the game's description reads, "Even after all these years, you return. But why? Do you just want to relive old memories? Or maybe you're looking for something?" This shows us that the protagonist has been to Freddy's before, whether it was as a night guard or a patron. The fact that they are possibly looking for something makes me think that it's Michael Afton returning to Freddy's after finding out where his father has been trapped. Or maybe he's returning for some Golden Freddy related reasons. This screenshot here shows us that the game will have a Freddy mask mechanic similar to FNAF 2. Also, we see in the same screenshot that there could possibly be a vent mechanic for this game, again similar to FNAF 2. I say possibly because we can't see the whole of the east wall of the room, because the Freddy mask is obstructing the player's vision. From this one screenshot, I'm guessing that the game will bring together gameplay elements of both FNAF 1 and 2 to create some chaotic and stressful gameplay. We can also see that this game will have FNAF 1 elements because of the restaurant map on this screenshot here. As you can see, it looks very similar to the FNAF 1 map. Overall, I think this game is looking quite promising. The models and art are cool, and from what I can guess about the gameplay, it looks like it'll be extremely tense, chaotic, and fun. So, it turns out you should take everything I said about this game's art and models with a grain of salt. Because when I was editing this video, Fox Films posted on the FreddyBear's Diner game job page that the game will be getting almost a complete overhaul, which could be a good or bad thing depending on the quality of the new visuals. I don't really know why he did this. I like the old models, but if that's the creative direction he wants to take the game in, who am I to judge? I'm really looking forward to all these games releasing, and I don't want any of them to end up cancelled, so if you are interested in helping out Fox Films, the link is in the description, and so are the links to all the developers' game job pages if you want to show support. I just want to quickly apologise for the lack of uploads as well. I've just been kind of busy. Yeah. I hope you all had a great Christmas if you celebrate it, or Hanukkah, or nothing, depending on what you do celebrate. I appreciate all the support you guys have given me in 2024, and I hope we all have a great 2025. Thanks for getting all the way to the end of the video. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.